The argument being made was that it violates a number of provisions of the Constitution, the provisions relating to fundamental rights, provision relating to Islamic provisions, provisions relating to power of and authority of Parliament, provisions relating to virtually how a power is to be exercised. All of those were in question.
There's also another ground, speaking for myself,
My Lord,
where a larger bench should have heard this case. And that was the question of maintainability, because in high courts, certain petitions were pending, challenging the Vairis. And the judgment of the majority did refer to the Benazir Bhutto's case, PLD 1988, Supreme Court 416, which is, I believe, an 11-member bench.
My Lord.
And that is the law till today.
My Lord.
And again, this court is ignoring that law. So either that was binding and had to be followed, so any departure that was required to be made had to be heard by a larger bench.
My Lord,
so that is...
May I respectfully am very grateful for that observation. I had spent an entire day arguing Manzoor Ilahi and arguing on the basis of Benazir Bhutto and pointing out that there was a petition pending under Article 199 of the Constitution before the Islamabad High Court, and in view of the pendency of that petition and in view of these two judgments.
You see, regardless of that, Makhdoom Saab, with great respect, the larger bench judgment is binding even on this bench, because that's an 11-member bench.
Yes, my Lord.
And Manzoor Ilahi's case has been reaffirmed by them.
Yes,
and that is the law.
Yes,
and that law is again and again ignored.
Yes,
and that was also ignored in the election matter, to which the majority has made a reference.
My Lord, yes.
So that could not have been overruled, and till that is not overruled, 184(3) petitions are not maintainable if matters are pending before the high courts.
My Lord, even before the Practice and Procedure Act was enacted, that was a submission made by me before the Honorable 3-member bench of this Honorable Court, and that was my next point, which your Lordships has encapsulated far better than I could.
Arguments, we will hear you later. This is your main arguments.
My Lord, that's my second argument after the Practice and Procedure Act. The second argument...
What is the first?
My Lord, the first was that in view...
What is the first proposition?
The first proposition is that in view of the provisions of the Practice and Procedure Act 2023, the proceedings before this Honorable Court's 3-member bench had become quorum non judice, and the matter should have been referred to a committee.
No. So are you saying this judgment is a nullity in law?
That's what I'm submitting, my Lord.
What do you say about when the Practice and Procedure Act was suspended? It was not in field.
My Lord, your Lordships knows it better than me that an order of stay operates inter partes. It operated between them, and my Lord, Mr. Justice Syed Mansoor Ali Shah refers to my submission and encapsulates this very well, that if tomorrow this Practice and Procedure Act will be upheld, the stay order will be vacated, and for that period...
But so you were prescient, or was Justice Shah prescient?
My Lord, this
or both of you?
The members of this honorable bench are always prescient.
Makhdoom Saab, speaking for myself, the petition was not maintainable in the light of the law laid down by the Benazir Bhutto's case.
My Lord, and that was my submission even prior to the 2023 Act, because the Act came in between.
चलिए ये एक proposition हो गया, अगला proposition.
Sir, अगला proposition ये है कि on the same issue, a constitution petition under Article 199 of the Constitution, being petition number 2557 of 2022, challenging the vagaries of the law, was pending before the Islamabad.
So I'm just thinking aloud, don't read too much into my observations. It could be that a petition comes here and someone, just to stop that, files a petition in the High Court. Okay, it could be completely mala fide. Okay, how would we know it? We can't know mala fides and bona fides. and that will happen. So should that not be a matter of case-to-case basis just because a petition has been filed? Or, for instance, some things are time-related. Like, it's very important something happens and a party is not interested in adhering to a certain time. Let's take elections, for instance. So they file a petition, one in Balochistan, one in Sindh, etc. And someone files who's actually interested in elections in the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court should say, hang on, let's wait those. But they will effectively get the relief what they wanted, delay. So should it be binding on us to that extent, or we have to actually consider the merits of each case, whether in this matter, we should await the decision of the High Court? No, the heavens won't fall. We can easily await it. In some other matter, no. We must proceed immediately and decide it.
My Lord,
or is there a hard and fast rule we have to follow?
No, my Lord, even in Benazir Bhutto's case...
We want to hear your view.
No, may I just point out what this Honorable Court has observed? In Benazir Bhutto's case, their lordships described the principles in Manzoor Ilahi as the salutary principle, but in the facts and circumstances of the case, did not follow that route, did not pursue the route. They created a distinction. So what your lordship is observing, your lordship will look at the facts of the case, but over here, it was not a case where to divert the proceedings from this Honorable Court to the Islamabad High Court. This petition was filed. The Islamabad petition had predated this. That petition was filed by the Islamabad High Court Bar Association. It was not filed by any surrogate petitioner, and it was pending the hearing, and that objection was raised at the very first stage before this Honorable Court that the Benazir Bhutto's case applies.
Benazir Bhutto, we're talking about the election matter.
Benazir, no, my Lord,
which Benazir Bhutto?
My Lord, the political party's case, the first case, that is 1988 Supreme Court 416.
Halim Saab wala faisalah.
Yes, my Lord.
My Lord has rightly pointed out and very eloquently in Benazir Bhutto's case, these concerns have also been addressed.
Yes, my Lord.
And addressed at length and very eloquently.
Yes, my Lord.
That
Absolutely.
when a petition under 184(3) will not be taken up.
Yes, my Lord. Yes, my Lord. And their lordships in that case, as your lordship knows by your lordship's detailed reading of the judgment, have evolved the doctrine of effective pendency. That if what the High Court was doing was virtually not proceeding with the case and virtually frustrating those proceedings, then not proceeding in the Supreme Court would not be countenanced by this Honorable Court. It was submitted that that was not the case over here. To the contrary, after filing the petition in this Honorable Court, adjournments were being obtained from the Islamabad High Court that now that we have gone to the Supreme Court, please don't proceed over here. So it was an altogether different situation, and that is why it was relied upon.
Let me clarify one thing from you. If, there's a big if, capitalized big if, we accept, for the sake of argument, don't think we have, this quorum non judice. Are you just relying on that ground, and then the petition in Islamabad High Court gets revived, and we just stop?
My Lord,
or are you also going on the merits?
My Lord, I would, as a council does, I would raise these 2 or 3 preliminary submissions, and I would also show to your lordship that even on merits the petition was not maintainable, and I will identify them also in one-liners before your lordship. My Lord, besides this second submission, the third one was that this was a unique case in the common law history of constitutional countries. There is no similar case, and I had made that submission, and the counsel for the petitioner did not come up with a case. My submission was that this was the first case of its kind where the petitioner in the petition itself, the petitioner himself had said that he himself had passed this law through various ordinances. And much of what had happened in the 2022 Act was incorporating what he had done through ordinances.
Are those ordinances on record?
Those ordinances were on record.
Are on record.
Yes,
and,
my lord.
and they've been also,
maybe the petitioner has realized that those ordinances were not proper.
and the
Maybe he has realized subsequently.
My lord,
And the
that is
majority judgment?
what he submits. That is what he submits, and that's why I'm saying that therefore his antecedents became a matter for consideration before this honorable court, that can a petitioner,
Yeah, but where is this admission?
Lord, it is there, if your lordship will-
it is also mentioned in the judgment of
Yes, my lord, but if your lordship
the
will-
majority judgment, but they haven't gone beyond that.
Yes, my lord.
They've said that since that is no more a law, therefore they didn't consider it.
my lord, if your lordship may see it in the words of the petitioner himself, it is in part 1 of your lordship's intra-court appeal paper book, in paragraph 6 on page 121.